Welcome traders to this Traders Talk, where we're going to be joining Rich. But yeah, I'm interested in finding a little bit more about you and your trading style and everything. So so just give me a quick brief at like how long have you been actually trading or in the market for?
Okay, I've been in the market for like since 2012, so like 11 years so far.
Yeah.
And like I've been coaching since 2017 or 16 and a half, right? So I've been coaching like for 5 years and I've been trading for 11 years.
Okay. And I've noticed a lot because I've looked through your stuff and you obviously do a lot of Forex and crypto. What are the main markets you trade?
Okay, so for now, what I trade is Forex for weekly trades, while on crypto, I just like buy and hold. I buy it on spot. I don't like to trade leverage when it comes to crypto.
Yeah.
When it comes to margin and leverage, I focus on Forex. And anyway, we've got like plenty of currencies and pairs, right? So we don't need another market to trade leverage, especially that the volatility is like huge when it comes to crypto, right? And like as a swing trader, I like to hold my trades for weeks or even like a couple of days or 1 week or 2 weeks.
Okay, so you swing trader.
Yes, exactly. So I don't like to hold my trades overnight when it comes to crypto if I ever wanted to trade on leverage because like of the big wicks that sometimes happen, right? So I focus on Forex for weekly trades.
Yeah.
And like I enter for like on average like 2 or 3 trades per week. So like on average like 10 or 15 trades to the max per month, which is quite enough for me. And when it comes to crypto, I believe in the technology, I believe in the blockchain and so on. So I just like buy and hold.
Right. Yeah. Well, to be honest, what really takes my eye is obviously you've told me that you swing trader, you hold on average like up to maybe 15 trades a month perhaps. And even when I like look through like the YouTube and that, like I was scrolling down and I was watching some of these videos at the bottom. And like everything that you're talking about is so relatable, especially to for example my strategy. Like not placing a trade is also a trade. All this sort of stuff is kind of the things that I've learned upon my experience through trading. It's very simple stuff, but not a lot of people actually get a grasp of it because they want to quickly try and find a profitable route, or they're placing trades without any sort of strategy. But yeah, and also the technical analysis that I've seen is it's kind of relatable to the actual charts and the tools that I'm using, similar sort of methods. But for the most part, it's just about keeping it all simple and actually making the amount of trades that you're actually placing less, focusing on actually making the quality of your trades better. And it's a lot of this stuff is what I can see in your work really. So let's talk about RichTL then. So RichTL, so that's your teaching business project, yeah?
Well, of course, like when someone joins our like what I call family. So they get access to a full course, like 25 hours worth of videos. Okay. However, like in module 3, we focus on our own trading style, which like we can't really find anywhere else. And the RichTL focuses, which is Rich, which is me, and TL stands for trend line. Okay, and as you can see, like in the pictures below, like when I was starting, like I know market structure, I know many stuff, but like I was fascinated with trend lines. So, like I find like many ways like to draw the best trend line possible. And like as you can see, I found that trend lines are very subjective. So like every trader draws it differently, especially because it's a non-horizontal line.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you could use the end of the wicks or the bodies, or there's different ways of doing it. And then also the breakout, how you actually trade the breakout and your rules depending on that.
This is exactly it. So we've got many ways, many different ways to draw it or like to trade upon it, if it's broken or not. And of course, like the distance between the swings, the length of the swings, like the angle of the trend line. So we've got many stuff going on to know if this trend line is the best one or not. So like I focus on this, and I wanted to draw it in the same exact manner every single time, because like, okay, so now I know how to draw a trend line, so I want to backtest it. So when I go back to history, like I don't really know if this trend line is valid or not, even though I know certain rules, but I wanted to backtest it the same exact way, which is like, or to build a trading plan around it, which is the exact same way I would draw it in the future.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, because you want to try and find what works and then replicate it on
exactly.
And I suppose what you're talking about is stuff like the amount of touches that your trend line gets, perhaps, maybe, and then upon the breakout, like exactly how strong and valid that trend line is.
Exactly, and the most important factor is the dots that you see, the red ones for the highs and the blue ones for the lows. So like RichTL is simply what? It's not like an indicator from space. It doesn't give you a signal to enter a buy or sell. It just shows you the objective swings, right? So now I have a swing, and I use these swings, these and only these, to draw my trend lines. So if I don't have a dot, a blue or a red dot for a low or a high, I don't consider it a swing. I don't use it to draw my support and resistance, my trend lines, and so on. So like, this is how I keep my like analysis as objective as possible.
So without going too much into obviously the detail about your trend lines, but
sure,
just for example, what time frames would you be trading these trend lines on?
Okay, great.
Daily, weekly, monthly?
Exactly. So I always start from the weekly, right? Weekly and daily, I consider our rejection time frames to give us an overall bias, or where we are in the market, where we stand right now. So I start from the bigger time frames to get the big picture, and then I draw my horizontal and non-horizontal support and resistance. So for now, my price is approaching a support area. Then and only then I zoom in to lower time frames, like H4 and H1, or even sometimes M30 to look for setups. So like, if price is sitting in the middle of nowhere, and like if you want, like in a bit, I can share my screen and I give you a quick example.
Right?
So if price is sitting in the middle of nowhere, right? I stay out. So I always wait for the price to approach a bigger picture support or resistance. That can be horizontal or non-horizontal.
Okay, and also I just so I wanted to go over. So obviously I've seen that you got a large presence on TradingView, obviously where we met, and just generally you're obviously quite a large trader now, especially on the groups. So I went on the reviews. Reviews are great. You've got lots of reviews already. So where would you say most of your traders who are learning from you, where are they based? Is it worldwide, or is it
exactly. So I have members, like I don't like to call them students, right? So I have members from like 32 plus countries. So I have from Australia, from the US, from Canada, from Europe, from Africa, from like all from like, as you mentioned, worldwide. And yes, basically this is it. And like most of the members knew me through two ways. The first one is on TradingView, as you already mentioned, and like the second way is from a channel, a YouTube channel called Trading Nut. So like I also made an interview with like Cam, which he is a great guy. And like I made an interview like let's say today, and after a month, like, because he also has a section where like it's a challenge section where people can go live through a simulator. It's just like MT4, but it's like a simulator where you pick you pick a pair and you pick a period of time, and then you will be trading live. Okay, so you click on play, and then the price would trade, and then like you place trades on a simulation, right? So like I also made the challenge, and like for now, like from 1 year till now, I'm still ranked first. So like among all the previous trades worldwide, which I do the challenge, I'm still ranking first.
Pretty high, yeah. That's good to hear. And I've just generally from the videos that I've seen, all the content that I've seen, it is really it is quite it's you're I can sort of tell when a trader is a good trader, or at least a trader that trades sort of on the similar wavelength to me, who, because see, with us as a prop firm, we'll move into that briefly in a second, because we get so many traders. We get like scalpers, super short-term time frame, long time. We've got a vast variety of traders. So it is interesting to see the ones that are profitable within each sort of style. And I do think that you can get profitable day traders, profitable long-term traders.
Of course.
But there are similar habits between them in terms of risk management, the psychology on trading, which we all know is important. But yeah, we'll cover that later. So I guess if anyone wants to sign up to you, they just go onto your website and join through there, yeah? So just also before we get into the prop firm, so I pulled out two. Now I don't think this is just limited to two, but there's two, because obviously we've been working together for a little while, and there's a few traders that have actually joined through our prop firm who are learning, or at least your members. So I think this was one who passed on our, so this is a low risk 10K account. This was just their level 1 account. Obviously, the profit target being 10%, £250, which is, a pretty conservative target that we have on one of our programs. And we can see here that I believe this was Sheriff who passed the 10% on here. And we also have a member from you as well called Chris, who did in fact also reach same target again on the low risk 10K. So I guess the rewards and the sort of results is all there, proof in the pudding, really. From obviously if they're learning through you, picking up some certain strategies, implementing it for themselves, and obviously it's very good. What would you say in terms of like the members that you've had come through you and learn?
Yes.
Have you got sort of any success stories of traders who have gone on to trade live, or who are now trading full time, or has there been any significant progression from people that have maybe had bad habits or don't even know about the market to then actually turn it into a bit of a career?
That's exactly. So like for those who like to join us and like learn the entire trading style, and as you can see from the charts like in front of you, so like we always keep our risk to a minimum, and we always try to target at least like double our stop loss. So like even though like we have a 50% win rate only, but like when you're like winners are like more than your losses,
well,
like
yeah,
best, in the long run.
So you got best profit here 51, biggest loss 25. So then that's the average profit, average loss. And again, like you're saying here, the winning trades it's only 40 to 50%.
Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, it's simple stuff, but it's just such overlooked. Like people don't. They tend to sort of look at the short term, from what I've noticed, especially in new traders. I mean, we've all done it. Even in like my first 6 months to a year, you kind of are trying to just look for quick ways of making profits, etc. But yeah, so is there anything else you wanted to cover about RichTL?
So we'll take two examples. Of course, if you have time. If not, we'll take just one example. Okay, and like meanwhile, like amazing. Okay, so first of all, we want to know where we stand in the market. As mentioned previously, we start from the weekly and daily time frames, right? So we want to know if you are around a support, resistance, overall bullish, overall bearish, and so on. Okay, so the weekly time frame and daily, of course, but starting from weekly, will give us the overall like bias. So for now, we can simply stick to the basics. Trading is supposed to be simple, not easy, simple. Sure. But the human mind usually, by nature, like to complicate things. Believing that if it's more complicated, it would be better, right? So like you need to develop your own trading plan, and to be able to do this, you only need the basics, like the basics of price action. Okay, so like you don't need to learn like fancy tools like Elliott waves, Fibonacci, harmonic, Ishimoku, and so on. Okay, they are good. I'm not saying that they are not good.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like
I
the
agree.
basics as a start are very enough, because like we need to stay humble and to accept that the market can do whatever it wants, whenever it wants.
Yeah, we can't control that. Yeah,
exactly. The only thing we have control on is our risk.
Yeah.
And like what we need to do, like as as traders, is to find a way to have an edge over the market.
Exactly.
And you don't need to understand what's going on or what might go on. You just like focus on the risk, focus on finding areas, okay, on areas that would give you an edge. So for example, here on USD CAD, we've got, for example, you can simply draw support and resistance, and you simply draw the most like if you want obvious ones. So for example, like we can agree that we all can see that we've got a support here, right? So many rejections from it, and of course it's an entire zone. Okay, so it's not like a laser level. So like sometimes traders draw it as a laser level, and now it's broken a little bit. So now it's broken.
It's small range. Small range.
Exactly. So you should treat it like this, as an entire range. And for the bears to take over in this case, we need to see an aggressive movement down. So like this, then and only then. So like this small movement is not simply like a resistance support in this case broken downward. Okay. So this is what you basically do. You start from the horizontal support and resistance from weekly, and then if you can zoom in, you can find like plenty more. Right. We can see that we've got this one here that was acting as a resistance previously, then price broke it downward. Now it's acting, support, then broke it downward, so acting as a resistance, then broken upwards, now acting as support, broken downward, resistance, right? So now the price is below it, so it's not acting as a resistance zone. Okay, so for now, these are the most, or like the major ones, major support and resistance. We also got one here. Okay, so I'll delete these ones and draw it as a level to make the chart clean. But of course, it is an entire area and not a laser level. So these ones are our key rejection, support, and resistance. So now, since price is here, so let's focus on here. Then we zoom in. Okay, so start from a zoomed out picture to know where we are in the markets. So we are currently rejected the support, traded higher. So we are currently approaching this resistance, but we are still far from the resistance. So if we zoom a little bit in now, okay, so to focus on the market structure, we know that we were overall bearish previously. You don't need to compare the highs and the lows to know that we were bearish. We can see the price is going down, and then the price broke above the previous high here. So starting from here, we can like speculate that we might have a shift in momentum from bearish to bullish. And in fact, price started to make higher lows and higher highs. So we can, and also we don't need to compare the highs and the lows. We can just see that we are currently overall bullish. Now, to have an edge over the market, we need to, because we are overall bullish from like a medium-term perspective, we want to look for trend following, in this case, buy setups, especially that the price is still far from our resistance. If the price is here, of course, around resistance, but we're only looking for sell. Okay, so now we draw our non-horizontal support and resistance, which is a trend line, which is showing us the overall movement, or what I call engulfing the overall movement. So now this channel, or like, here we go, let me copy paste. This is it. So like the price is now trading inside this channel, and if the price is in the middle, I'm not looking for setups, right? So this is how you look for your edge from a technical perspective. Of course, like in a bit we'll cover the risk management edge, but for a technical edge, we want to look for setups around we want to know where we are in the market. So for now, we are around a support area. That's why we are looking for buy setups. And I insist on the word looking, because like sometimes, even though we are overall bullish, the price can still trade lower and lower. So it can still invalidate the whole scenario, right? So we are bullish, but we need extra confirmation. That's when you zoom into lower time frames, as I mentioned previously, from H4 and H1, and you wait for a shift in momentum from a shorter term perspective, because we are bearish inside a correction, which is we saw from weekly. So we are now in this correction, impulse, correction, impulse, right? So now we are looking for the buyers to take over here to catch the next impulse movement upwards. And Now, if we zoom into H4 time frame, here we can also draw a trend line, right? So we can draw this one by connecting these highs, which is also was previously engulfing the overall movement down. So for now, we know that from a short-term perspective, the buyers took over, but from a medium-term perspective, like from H4, to have a shift in momentum from bearish to bullish, we still need to see a break above this trend line. So we are bullish, looking for the buyers to take over, and this is when I consider that the buyers would take over. Okay, so I'll give you one more example because I can't really cover as many things as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I really appreciate the bit of a technical insight into the strategy. Great. It's very interesting.
Okay, so here we have another example on Euro JPY. We also start from weekly, as mentioned previously. We want to know where we are in the market, right? So for now, we both agreed that we've got like very, very obvious ones, which is this one, right? Was acting as a support, broken downward, resistance, broken upward, support, resistance, and now it's acting as a support area. And of course, it's an entire zone, so we should treat it as mentioned previously like this. Okay, but I'll keep it as a level to make it clean, right? And next, we've got this resistance here, right? So like these ones are very, very obvious ones. So I don't go for like very small ones, which only you can see. Okay, so go for the most obvious ones. Support previously, resistance here, and resistance here lately. Okay, so and of course, I can still draw like the lower ones and the upper ones, but for now I'll focus on these ones because price is currently sitting inside it to keep like this session small. Yeah. So now we're done with the big picture. We're around a resistance, we're around a support area, which is an entire area as mentioned previously. So now if we zoom in to monitor the price action, we were overall bullish. Here we were overall bearish or above the previous high. Now bullish, making higher highs and higher lows. So now we are inside trading like this, low lows and lower highs. So we are trading inside this channel. And we can also, as mentioned, just like USD CAD, we can also draw like a channel here, which is engulfing the overall movement downward. So now inside in the middle, I'm not interested in looking for setups. I'm only waiting for this one to approach the upper bound to look for sell setups, and waiting for it to approach the lower bound to look for buy setups. That's why how you look for an edge in the market, because now I have more probability that the price would go up than down. And around this area, I don't know what's happened. Anyway, so and around this area, we have a more probability the price would go down than up. However, in the middle, like we have a 50-50 chance the price can go up or down. That's the importance of waiting for price to approach a rejection area. Now we also have, if you check it out, especially from daily, you can see it better. We've got a demand zone here. Like we have an explosive movement upwards from this area. So as price approaches this demand, we can start to look for buy stops, which would be in the intersection of the lower trend line and this demand area. And of course, just like we did on USD CAD, we are bearish, and you don't want to buy a bearish market. So we always wait for the buyers to take over. Here we go. This is it. So for now, we are bearish. The price is making big impulse movements, no correction, big impulse. We're currently in this correction and in this impulse. So for now, this is our last high. And anyway, this is why you see an alert here, right? If you can see it. So now I have my alert here that if the buyers manage to break out of this area, then and only then, like I'll be entering a buy. Meanwhile, this one can still trade lower and lower to test what the lower bound, and we are looking for buy since we have this demand area which we saw from here we go. Let me draw it. Here we go. So like this entire from here till here, this is a demand area which we saw from daily time frame. This is why we are looking for buy setups. However, we're waiting for the buyers to take over. So we have our edge from a technical perspective around a demand and the lower bound. Second, even though we have our edge, we always wait for extra confirmation. We always wait for the buyers to take over, then and only then we will enter. So we have our edge, and we have our confirmation, which is usually our trigger. Okay,
Wow.
let me take a break.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the insight into a bit more behind the strategy. I think a lot in many ways very similar to the way I personally break down the charts as well.
Nice.
If anything, if when I'm on the, so I usually start off actually on the monthly. I'll look for the
Nice.
trend on the monthly, again using similar sort of styles in terms of with the trend line. When I'm placing in weekly support and resistance, generally I will round them off. So for example, I think you had one around 1.2520. You said that was obvious support on the weekly.
Yes, yes,
Whereas
exactly.
perhaps I might actually even put that at the 125, just 125.
Yes,
Keep it
yes,
clean, simple, because then in my mind, because it would take me, let's say, 4 or 5 minutes to break down the chart from top to bottom, identify the trades there or not. And then if I know that it's approaching, or I'm at least targeting 125, then it's kind of always in my mind, and I keep the levels pretty clean and clear. But then I do the same approach as you. I'll go down and get more detail and into the smaller movements to try and find more accurate setups within
nice.
the trades.
Okay.
But a big thing that I learned in that obviously there's so much that goes along with this that you need to get right, especially from a risk management perspective. But a big thing that I learned was the importance of actually finding exit or an exit strategy, at least in trading, because a
Right.
lot of people get in thinking that, okay, it's going to go up, so I just need to buy. Whereas that can be a little bit, it could be a bit counterintuitive because it's wrong, because it's similar to like getting on a train, isn't it? Without a destination, you don't know actually where you're going to be getting off at or any kind of
Exactly.
strategy for getting out. So do you have similar sort of strategies in finding exit, or where do you come out of the market?
Nice.
Or
Nice. Okay. So like we covered the edge when it comes to like when it comes to like the technical edge. For
yeah,
the risk management edge, we have many things to like many things that might like I don't know how to say it in English. Anyway,
yeah,
so like okay, so the first one is and you know what? Give me a moment like to share like one thing before I go into risk management. Okay, so like I believe that trade is like the body. So the strategy is our body, and
yeah,
and the mind is like the risk management, and
yeah,
we still have the heart. Okay, so the first rule, and this is what I call the 5 golden rules of tradings. Okay, the 5 golden rules of 5 golden rules of trading. So the first one is, okay, well, of course we all know it, like don't invest money you can't afford to lose. Okay, because if you invest money you can't afford to lose, chances are like you will not follow your trading plan, you will mess with the risk management, and of course like you will panic and so on. The
emotions,
second
yeah,
one is exactly. The second one is number 2, which is like we enter with 1% risk per trade. Like some start with 0.5, and then from the profit they will increase it to 1% risk per
yeah,
trade. Okay, so we want all our trades to have the same impact or effect on our account. So like we enter 1% on this buy on EURJPY, and also 1% on like the buy that is forming on USD CAD. Okay, and this is first. Second, okay, which is like now we know that we have a technical edge looking for a buy here. However, we still need a risk management edge. For the risk management edge, what we will do is, and I'll take this as example. Okay, so for example, this one trades lower, so for now it's valid, let's say, and now with the price broke above this high. Of course, now if like the lower it gets, the better the setup would be, because it's approaching like this rejection area. So for example, it can trade like, for example, lower and then forms a new swing high. In this case, we'll update that this high, and then we'll enter buy on this one and not this one, because price forms a new high. Okay. Anyway, let's say the price forms like this, and like this is our trigger.
yeah,
Now, like when it comes to the risk management, what I'll do is like after a momentum candle close, like a big candle, a big fat one, like proving that now the bulls are finally kicking in. So I don't want a shy or like I call it shy. So I don't want like a small candle. right? So breaking above, I want a big one breaking above it. So like now this would be my entry, okay? And like the
Momentum,
stop
yeah.
loss would, exactly. The stop loss would be below the previous low, and I always target like 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. This would under this would answer your question.
Yeah.
So like I have a fixed target. It's always the same for all instruments, for all trades. Like I always target double. Okay, so like no matter if I have a resistance here, right, and the price can still trade higher till around this area. So instead, I can make 3R. I don't care. I just follow my rules, and like as per my trading plan, I'm happy if this one reaches 2R. Okay, so
Yeah.
we need to have objective and very strict rules because like if my take profit is open, right? So like this is one like this is where I doubt where I close it, where I like and like I guess you know what I mean. So
yeah.
it's very
Well,
important.
and even in this scenario, your take profit here would be close to the 0.1 of the trend line, which is near resistance anyway. So it might.
Yes.
There's always things to consider when looking to get out of the market, especially your take profit level, your exit strategy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I just want to add one more thing. Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
So for the one is that money we can afford to lose. Okay, so this is one which is we afford, and I don't know how to write it fast. So for the two is we enter with 1% risk per trade. For the three, right, we enter when we have at least 3 things telling us to buy. For example, here we have a demand, we have this trend line, which is the lower band of the weekly channel, and we have a trigger. So these are 3 reasons. So I only enter when I have 3 reasons, not 2, 3. Okay, so here I enter when we have three confluences, 3 clues like lined up together, telling me that now it's a good time to buy. This is 4. Number 5 is, which we already mentioned now. Okay, so we risk 1% and our target would be 2%. And which is last but not least, like as you already know, like many traders struggle with it, is the trading size, is the heart, which I call. Okay, so like many traders would doubt the strategies that like they would quit because like they be that this trading thing is not for them.
Yeah.
Like these 5 rules are like you can't really trade if you don't have these 5 rules. And like if you remove one rule only, like the whole system would crash. Because like if you enter 1%, right, and you target 2%, so you have an edge risk management, then you have a technical edge, but the money that you invest, you can't afford to lose, then of course like you will not follow your trading plan, you will not risk 1%, you will risk more, and things like that. Now if you remove the 2, right, if you money you can afford to lose, so it's fine, but like you enter with 10% risk per trade, of course that you will get emotional, and which will affect your trading plan, right? So if you remove one of these 5 rules, so if the money you can afford to lose, you enter 1% risk per trade, but you don't have an edge, right? So also you will not make money, even if you target 2%, right? But like you are not entering with a good edge.
Yeah, one confluence or something like that, rather than the 3 confluences.
Exactly. So these 5 rules are very, very important to be able to make money on the long run.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And I really do appreciate you sharing this, because even though this is it can seem so simple and straightforward to a lot of people, it's, as I said before, it's often overlooked by so many, and especially if you just Google Forex or you Google trading or you put it on YouTube, you're going to see so many different things, people saying that you can make like £200 a day, etc. Whereas the reality of trading is you do need to just go back to basics, study charts from the ground up, put in a lot of time and effort, and also just bring that risk right down. It's not to say that you're shortening or you're reducing the amount of reward or potential growth that you're going to get in your career, because that's still achievable. You know, it is still achievable to, because I don't think you can make any more money than in any other industry. Forex is
Right.
massive, but
Right.
you do need to keep control of, you know, exactly your strategy, and everything that you're saying is stuff that I've learned, and is stuff that our profitable traders are doing day in, day out. So it is great to see. It is great to see. Nice. And you know, as I said before, I do appreciate you sharing so much of your strategy. Just so just in terms of the prop firm that we have, and the packages and services that we have. So as you probably know, you've been through our website. We've been working together for quite some time. You've got even students that are trading with us successfully and still active on level 2 accounts plus. But basically, I just wanted to quickly run through, just in case, obviously, if this video was to go to, you know, any of your groups or etc. Just a quick breakdown of exactly what happens with us. Now, obviously, we're based out of the UK originally. We do fund traders worldwide, but we've got a simple program that allows traders to, most importantly, scale their account. I have traded with prop firms myself before in the past years, and with some of them, I got sort of stuck at a certain level where you're, let's say, for example, I'm trading a 50K account. You're stuck at that level. There's no room for improvement. Obviously, you can make money and withdraw monthly, etc. But it was kind of, there was no element of growth or potential reward for doing so well as a trader. And just naturally, even as me as a trader, as I've been going through the years, and also just trading my own personal accounts, I always reward myself for trading small, and then I'll basically earn the right to trade bigger. That's how I've kind of treated my lot sizes, rather than getting too aggressive or placing too much risk. I've always earned the right to sort of trade bigger, and that's kind of what we're doing here. So effectively, just in simple terms, we, in terms of conditions and that, we've got 2 accounts, evaluation and instant funding. We did start off just with the instant funding. Recently we have added the evaluation, just as a sort of cheaper route into the market for traders. The evaluation is a cheaper price to get started on one of the packages, but you do actually get a demo account. Now with the evaluation, we used to do a 2-step evaluation like a lot of other prop firms, but we've actually brought that down to just a 1-step, just to make it a little bit easier for traders to actually start scaling quicker. And from our experience of getting, you know, many traders coming through and doing the evaluation, we've tweaked it in many different ways to actually make it a better way for traders to succeed. But yeah, as I said before, so you don't get a live account on the evaluation, you get a demo account for the level 1. Once you pass it on the low risk, which is 10%, you then go into level 2 and then start scaling and earning from that. Both, so the evaluation comes in low risk, aggressive. Instant funding, again, low risk, aggressive. Low risk is 10% target, aggressive is 25%. The aggressive, it kind of, the difference between the two, obviously low risk, you only have to achieve 10% for every profit milestone. If I go to funding levels and we go for, let's say the 70K account on the low risk, you only need to make 10%, which is £1,750. And then once you achieve that on the instant funding low risk 70K, you then start trading the 70K, and then you double your account. Every time you make 10%, you double all the way up to the final milestone. So basically, with the aggressive program, obviously it's 25%, so it's more. But for those traders that don't want to initially, because on both low risk and aggressive, you have 5% drawdown total. That's the absolute 5% drawdown. So obviously you have 5% on the aggressive as well, but with the aggressive traders, some traders like to actually make a buffer. So they'll risk like 0.5% initially, or 0.25% each trade initially. Yeah. Once they've created a buffer for themselves, then they can go a little bit more aggressive on maybe if they're scaling into a much smaller time frame. So if a trade, let's say they average 40 to 60 pips stop loss per trade, some traders might find setups on, let's say, 10 to 15 pips, which can allow you to go a little bit more aggressive, or at least play slightly higher lot sizes within reason. So we just added the aggressive account for those traders who want to just sort of basically put a little bit more pressure on those setups. But the low risk is obviously preferred by many traders just for the quick scaling potential. Obviously 10% is achievable. You know, we have 90 days maximum time on the level 1, 90 days to achieve 10%, which is, you know, 3 months. If you break that down onto a weekly basis, you can, it's definitely a reasonable. We don't look to just to try and achieve ridiculous you know, 50, 100% in a month. That's obviously not achievable, but yeah, that's basically what we have. And then obviously when you get to level 2 and beyond, there's no time limit. The trader trades however they want. Minimum trading days is 0, so as soon as they pass, they move on, they get their payout and they move on. And profit split is up to 80%, but they can find that on the funding levels page. If you go to the bottom and then go funding levels, basically it starts off at 50% share, and then as the trader moves along, they actually can earn up to 80% of their profits.
Nice.
We've recently done some other updates as well. We've added, so we've got lots of Forex pairs, all of the main ones, and we've also added gold and indices,
nice.
which has basically allowed us to access some more traders who actually do only trade, for example, the Dow Jones or the US 30. So it allows them to actually, you know, trade on a funded program or as a prop trader. And we're always trying to increase the list of instruments that we're trading. We've got a lot of requests for crypto, so that might be something that we might potentially get involved with on margin in the future. But apart from that, we just want to, we built Forex Traders UK just as purely as a place that beats all of the other prop firms. We recognize what the other prop firms were doing, but each and every individual aspect, we just wanted to improve it, such as the account conditions. So we don't have any swaps, no commissions. The spreads are really small, as you've seen. Lots of tradable instruments, quick payouts. That's a big factor. Obviously, once a trader makes the profit target, or basically once the trader gets to level 2, the trader can actually withdraw any time they want as well, as long as their share is above £150. So we just basically want to make sure that the trader's getting quick payouts, and most importantly, the growth opportunity to scale your account is there as well. So that's pretty much it with the account. You basically just choose your account, get your account credentials, log into MT4, hit your first milestone, then get paid as often as you want. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much sums up what we do. And yeah, obviously we have our website, live chat option. There's always operators in the live chat helping people with account setup, account operation, if they need any support with their account. Traders do get a trader's dashboard where they can log in and view their stats, etc., as we've seen from your members who have passed. So they get this dashboard here. Again, we do accept affiliates. There's an affiliate dashboard for those that know other traders or have groups or know traders that do want to get funded, etc. But yeah, so obviously we're happy to keep accepting profitable traders who can obviously make money for us, because it's a win-win. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm super grateful for the time today, Rich.
Sure.
Sharing so much of your strategy for free. You know, it's always good to see exactly what traders are doing, and just like-minded traders. Really, it's quite rare to see so much intelligence mixed with, you know, responsible risk management and just general good experience within the market, which I do think you have a lot of. And I think if anyone is interested in learning more about you, then obviously we'll give them links to sign up or your contacts, etc., and take it from there.
Sure. If any one of your members would like to ask me any question, like he doesn't have to join my community. So if you want to ask any question, like feel free to like hit me up at any time, and like it would be an honor to support you. And
absolutely.
I would like to say one thing about Forex Traders UK. I've been a fan of you guys like from day one, right?
Yeah.
So like from like 1 2 years, and like I still believe and like and the things that you are doing, and you are constantly improving, as you mentioned, which is really great. And I like the most about your packages is that you will have minimum trading days 0, right? Because this is very crucial, because like some funded accounts like would force you to enter like on 10 minimum trading days,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So like which is not a good thing at all, and especially for those for those like me who are swing traders. I don't know what to do. I can't really enter 10 trades this month because like I don't have 10 trades for like this particular month, which is quite very important.
And
Like,
holding the
okay,
trades as well, holding the trades overnight and over weekend. Obviously, we allow that,
exactly,
and again, some prop
exactly,
firms won't do that. But with the
exactly,
minimum trading days, as soon as they hit their milestone, obviously they get paid, and then they move on and basically get more responsibility or capital,
exactly,
which is it just allows the trader to trade however they want and be as flexible as possible.
exactly.
And
Like, oh, okay, so I need to make the 10%. So like I don't need to enter 10 trading days to make
no,
10%. I can like just simply enter 3 trades the whole month, and then I can still achieve this 10%.
absolutely.
So like I think that it doesn't make sense to like 10 trading days as a minimum.
No, absolutely,
Great,
yeah,
great.
and also the fact that the trader, for example, the 10 minimum 10 trading days, that usually the prop firms that do that will have payout cycles, so traders will have to wait for payouts, or it's
Exactly.
there's a monthly, and then they have to wait on that. Whereas the trader controls everything from their end, so on their dashboard, as soon as they feel like they want to make a withdrawal, then they just basically send us an invoice, and it gets paid in 2 days. We take it out their account, gets paid in 2 days, and the fact that the trader controls that, I think it's good for the trader and also good for us. But yeah, it's worked well up until now. The traders who are actually trading on the higher levels and on the significant amount of capital now, they're all doing well and basically trade however they want. We also don't force traders to take withdrawals as well, because obviously there is an element of keeping that buffer in the account, or just treating trading more long term rather than quickly making withdrawals all the time. Just allowing, because obviously there's a 5% drawdown, and as we know as traders, we can go through periods of losses or multiple losses in a row. So having a bit more edge as a trader, let's say they've got 10% to work with, then having that buffer in their account, they know that they will lose a few trades in a row, but it's not going to hinder or become too close to the drawdown limit. Obviously, we have to have a drawdown limit, otherwise it could go wrong quite quickly for some traders. But yeah, it's great
which is really great, like to start with 0.5% risk per trade first, and
yeah,
then like as your account builds up, you can then you can increase it to like to 1%, which is a very good way to start that account.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's everything that I really wanted to cover. I think I'm happy with that, and it was obviously great talking to you. Finally meeting you after all this time.
Thank you so much for this session, and wishing you an amazing week ahead.
And you, Rich. All right, take care for now. Bye-bye.